is there going to be another Obi-Wan series?
Yeah, and then speaking of Obi-Wan, let's actually talk about that because it didn't do it for me. Like it's
Yeah,
a good series, but I don't like. I'll probably watch it again, but I don't like. It just didn't hit all the markers for me emotionally.
yeah, no, it was definitely like it felt like a really long episode of like the Clone Wars. Like it definitely could have been so much more, and it definitely should have been like a 10, 15 episode thing. It should have been like something from the Clone Wars
Have you
where
heard about the writer who had different plans and they didn't go with him?
no,
The two things that I think you would have liked was one, Reva would have died and her death would have 100% served in bringing Anakin and Vader back together, and that was it.
hmm
And then also he had originally, I think it was him or maybe it was another writer, but Obi-Wan was supposed to be a trilogy of movies at one point,
yeah,
which would have made a lot of sense.
yeah, definitely because there's so much storytelling that needs to be like
Yeah,
done.
because for me personally, I don't think they didn't. The show is more so about Obi-Wan being thrown into a situation and we see how he reacts to it. And then we get that emotional stuff with Anakin as opposed to we don't get any of his thoughts on the Jedi genocide, Sith uprising, the Empire becoming the Empire, and
The
the tactics
Inquisitors.
and how they do the shit, Inquisitors, and all that stuff. Like, we didn't get
It was
none of that.
very, very, very surface level.
Yeah. To me,
and
it feels yeah. That's a good way.
I would have rather them, have done an animated series where they could have done like 20 episodes. Something where it would have been like, yeah, we're gonna like actually dive into something rather than the entire series is Obi-Wan coming back to save Leia.
And then that was good. Like I didn't like that makes sense as to why when Luke is like, "Oh, I'm with Obi-Wan," she understands who he is. That part that doesn't bother me at all.
But it's just something that's so surface level. It's just like, dude, this is like it could have been like a very very condensed episode, as opposed to traveling into different other aspects of what Obi-Wan was doing at the time, his connection with, obviously we saw kind of the reconnection with the Force and stuff, but I would have liked to see more development there. A lot more stuff. And when you have live action, and you spend that much money, and you are regulated to 6 episodes, then it just kind of felt like by the end of like episode 5, episode 6, I was like, okay, I want more. I want more in-depth information. I want to see more of this. But it was like, there's the series.
And I think a way they could have done that was they could have, and this would have really sent people off the edge. Because I was talking to a friend about it. I was like, there's a deleted scene where Luke is going through what is assumed to be Obi-Wan's belongings, and he makes his lightsaber. They could have redone that, and then have Luke find like a book of Obi-Wan's, like a diary of Obi-Wan, and he's reading it, and you get like a voiceover. So whenever there's like a moment where Obi-Wan is just looking out into something, you can have that voiceover, so we can get that could have
Something. Yeah.
that would have helped a lot. Also, Luke being in the series too would have absolutely sent people off the edge, and you would have only needed to have maybe like 5 minutes of footage, and then you could take that and splice it up between whatever episodes you needed.
Yeah, I mean, overall, there's just so many improvements, and
like I'm glad the series happened, but it just didn't do it.
It did
all
not
for me.
meet. It did
And
not.
I'm
meet
not trying to like
expectations.
don't be like I'm not trying to be like toxic and be like it's like no, it's fine, like it's good.
It's all right.
It's just I feel like they could have done more.
I don't think that after this, I'm just kind of like I don't need to see another season, simply because if it's going to be another 6 episodes of surface level bull, then I don't really care.
I would love for the next season to just be him on a spiritual journey with Qui-Gon, and then maybe a couple fights. Like if it's just like that's the next season, then fine. That'll itch that scratch for me. Yeah.
If it would just be like kind of like movie style, where or Mandalorian style, where a lot of different aspects are tying into Obi-Wan's story, where Obi-Wan shows up, and you have some one-on-one time with Obi-Wan. Just like you saw in like Mando, where Ahsoka has her own fight scenes and stuff like that. I'm definitely there for that, but
That'd be cool.
I just don't really want to see the same thing over again. I'm kind of over it, dude. So
I question, do you think, because I already know my answer for this, do you think the 6-hour Disney Plus series format for the Disney Plus shows is their shows? Cause
definitely, like 150 million gajillion %, because you're limiting yourself to time rather than
Yeah.
story.
I think they're treating it like it's a network, because you know how networks for like cartoon shows,
Yeah.
they want to fill it out for a certain amount of time. I think they doing that, and they got to get the fuck out of that.
Yeah, like they definitely should be looking at a lot of these series and be like, oh, we should do like 10 episodes.
I think they should
This
just
is a
write
10
the
episode.
story and then figure out how many episodes that is, and then be done with
I mean,
it.
dude, it's not like they don't have money. It's Disney.
Like if Obi-Wan was 23 hours long, then it's a 23-hour series. Too bad.
I mean, like look at it as like anime, right? With certain animes, it's like they don't have the budget to do everything they want to do, and in that instance, it'd be like, okay, we can only do 6 episodes. But it's like, no, you're Disney.
Perfect example: Attack on Titan. First season, 24 episodes. Second season, 12 episodes. Third season, 24, 22. The last season is still going, and it's like almost at what it was. They're at like almost 30 episodes, and there's gonna be more.
Yeah,
Like each season varies. You gotta have that mentality. I think you're going into it.
exactly.
However long
Especially,
the story needs to be, that's fine. Just make sure they don't. Which is another issue I have. Don't put two live action series on the same day, because that's dumb.
yeah,
You have a week. You have 6 other days in the week.
yeah,
That shouldn't, like, before you were releasing shit on Fridays. Have another show on Fridays so they don't overlap and compete with each other.
yeah.
It's just people can tune in 2 days a week to your app. I'm pretty sure
I'm telling you, it's just there's definitely some like structural stuff that they need to like focus on, because as a fan, it's just like you're telling a story, but you're not telling the story. You're not telling us all the
you
things we
could
want
be
to
doing
know.
more.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
a
so
lot
much.
of people can tell.
Yeah, there's so much more that they could have added into that series. There's so much more stuff that they could have, went into, hinted at Cal Kestis, hinted at cloning, hinted
Well, I
at
think
like
Reva's probably gonna end up in the Jedi Survivor too.
I know, but even like the Omega, they could have hinted at Bad Batch, Omega, and like what they're going towards with that series. It doesn't have to be like a full on. We're looking for Omega. It could be like them hinting at like cloning and being like, yeah, we need to find this thing. So
To help make that whole thread feel more thought out and planned out.
exactly, and it deepens the plot and being like, wow, like I really look forward to seeing Bad Batch now, and like, oh, I really look forward to Andor, and rather than just like a surface level 6 episode thing where I'm just kind of like, dude, whatever, So overall, I mean, if they do another series, it needs to be, more in depth, and they really need to get off this format. But to get off, some Star Wars stuff.